Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry. So I am still recording several videos in the future. I think part 13 or 14 went up today, and this will be part 18. So I've seen a couple of comments pop up on videos for things that I've already addressed. So apologies that that's happening, but I just cannot stop playing this game. I should almost certainly be recording the next Altars, because that should be going up tomorrow. But I can't stop thinking about this game, so we're going to play this instead. And I have been busy. Look at all these lovely little things we've got. So let's start with this. So this is our smelter blueprint. As you can see, I have been figuring out all the belt in and the numbers and everything that we need. So starting over here, the floor level, the ground floor, is reserved for all of the ores coming out. Has that got a belt there? It's hard to tell with that bush there, isn't it? I just want to remove that bush, please, because yeah, you do have a belt. Okay, so that ground floor is reserved for all the ore, so that pretty much takes care of itself. If we were going to be running all of these, which obviously isn't going to happen for a while, but if we were, we would need 2 full belts of coal running at Mark II belts. And now these are all Mark I belts, but they can be upgraded after the fact. I'm not too bothered. So we have these 2 belts here, which are dedicated to coal. Then we have limestone on this belt, because all the iron ones need limestone. Sand on the next belt. And then the top belt, the level 5 belt, is the slag output belt. So if we just go along here a little bit, so you can see the slag output belt, these each output 18, I think 11, it can handle up to 11 foundries, whatever they're called, blast furnaces, but I split it into 10. So every 10, it drops down 1, and then the new sort of master belt takes over. And then if we look at the coal belt around here, that's where the first 200 runs out, so the secondary coal belt takes over on that level there for the coal. So that's what all this is doing. And then we got all this here, and at the end of this we have 3 full 200 belts, which, well, there will be 200 belts for slag, and then we need to decide where that's going to go, but that's a secondary concern. I've belted up all of the crushers, the alcohol crushers. I did see there is an update to the crusher. I don't think I have it yet. I hope I haven't had it yet. Oh, I totally have it. Oh, okay. Might have to think about that. Because that can do 100 and... Okay, let's look at that in a minute. Because the number of belts I suspect is going to be the same. So for the crusher, we need... I can't remember which order these are in. The bottom 2 are copper. So we need 2 full belts for copper, and then we need 5 belts for iron ore, which is why these 2 belts are split here. So if we look along here, they can do 6 crushers on a single belt. So you can see this is why they're all dropping down, and this one takes over and dropping down, etc, etc, etc. That's all working fine. Didn't realize there was an upgraded crusher. Oh, it's massive. So this does 32 to 32, 192 to 192. So does that divide down nicely? Divided by 32, 6. So it would replace 6 of them. It takes less workers, because it would be 12 workers to do 6 of them, and it takes less electric because it would be 1.5 to run 6 of them, and it takes 1.7 maintenance, that takes 6.8. So it takes less maintenance. Okay, so we do want to use the large crusher, and that has an input of 192. Excuse me, my throat has gone all crazy on me. Well, that shouldn't be too hard to sort. So let's have a quick look at... In fact, what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take a copy of this and just pop it here, just in case something goes wrong. But in fact, before we do that, let's look over here as well. So I have also been trying to figure out what we're going to do about the ore sorter and how we're going to get, like I say, we need 5 belts of iron, 2 belts of copper, 2 belts of coal, 1 belt of limestone, 1 belt of sand. So it's a lot of belts, and this only has 10 outputs. So to start with, you can see I've got a lot of storages. The reason for that is the tier 3 storages take up the space of 4 tier 1 or tier 2s. So I'm just sort of future-proofing. I've put 4 down for each of them. I don't know if we need that much, but that's what I've got. In terms of outputs, I've got iron, iron, copper, copper, iron. The reason I've split them like that is because the 2 external irons have got a splitter directly on them, so they can actually output 400 at a time, because we will need 5 fill belts of iron. So 1, 2, 3, and then over here 4, 5. Then we've got the 2 belts of copper, one of which is used in a lift to make everything fit, which will go into here. We've got the limestone coming out of one of the outputs, the sand coming out of one of the outputs. And then I was running low on outputs, so the rock and the dirt I have on the same belt. And I did have it originally just on one belt coming over here until it split, and then I was like, well, do you know, if one of these things fills up and it backs up and say the dirt fills up and it can't put the rock away, and then this is just going to start filling up with something. I mean, it's going to have a lot of a larger storage compared to the other one, but I wasn't happy with that. So I did a bit more rejigging, and I've put a splitter or a sorter directly attached to it. Same sort of reason as these. Directly attached means it'll be able to output the 2 full belts, and those 2 belts make their way over there. I did originally have these going along here as well, but in terms of just trying to save some space, I've put them over there. So you can see that is quite large. If we take we'll just take all of it, fine. If we take all of this, do you remember when we were looking at this before, we'd sort of set aside two tiles, two of the large squares. It now is 1, 2, it's about 3 including the belts. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. I've already deleted the copper ghost we had over there, because obviously that's not going to work. It also means, if we just bring this back again a second, if we put this, if we leave like a bit of space, so if we start it like around here, you can see it goes completely over this production as well. So when we come to doing this, we are going to have to move all of our production as well, which is a mild pain, but hey diddly ho. The issue I have is the issue we had previously, where I can't get all of this and all of this on one line anywhere. So it's very difficult for me to plan where it's going to go. Because ideally, I'd have this connected to this, and I could copy the whole thing, plop it down here so we can see where the copper is, so we can start getting the copper done, delete this, start shifting stuff up, etc, etc. But we're not quite there. Anyway, I spent an inordinate amount of time doing that. Like, I mean a long time doing that. If we've got the Crusher Mark II, we might want to think, it replaces 6 of them, and those are all doing different things, aren't they? So we probably don't need to worry about the Crusher Mark II for that. That's fine. But we do need to worry about it for this. The other thing, something I said that I watch JD Plays. He's a pretty fantastic Captain of Industry player. I try not to watch too far ahead. So he's got his sort of second tier of oil up. He hasn't worried about this sort of level of smelting yet, so I might be doing it in the wrong order, but we are working on oil. We're getting there. And one of the things he did, which I quite liked, was he sort of squared off land here to do all of his waste management here. Now, he had a very fancy blueprint, which I'm not going to use. I'm just going to fudge my way through it. But to do that, you have to move the shipyard, and he put his shipyard up here. We don't have room to do that there. So I'm thinking one of the things we're going to do is we are going to, I don't know if those rocks are going to pose a problem, but expand this land spare out, start getting it up to the right height. Let's get rid of that search. And filling in the back area as well. And then we can start squaring this off. We'll have to move the trading dock, but that's a fairly minimal concern. In preparation for something like that. So that's quite a large piece of work. At the moment, we are dumping all of our stuff over here to make this bridge over to Quartz Island. But I don't really need quartz, so I'm going to immediately change that. So dumping designation, get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. It's fine. And then we're going to come over here. We are going to, first of all, we'll just get rid of all this because we don't need any of this. And then we want to bring this up to level 2. If I do it there, I'm guessing it doesn't have to dump a lot there. That's fine. Some people are a bit more particular about like dumping rock and any other stuff down here and then filling it with why have you gone up to 4? Because 2 is there. Why? Okay, let's do that. Get rid of that. Because it's 2 up to 3, I think, isn't it? So let's make that sloped. Let's rotate that and do that. That's what we want. Okay, make that flat. Bring that up to 2. Bring that all the way over here. Keep going. Keep going. And then we can probably just do a ramp just about there for now. We are going to want to fill the rest of this in as well. I'm just wondering whether what we're going to do about the sand for that. I mean, right now they can come over there. Yeah, I don't really know. We'll think about that another time. Let's flatten out. Let's continue bringing this out to about here. Those rocks, I think, are going to be a problem. We might need to build a little bridge over there just to dig them out. I don't know how that works. Let's get rid of that because that's in the wrong place. Put that there. And in fact, let's just do like... We want all of this filled in to level 2. I'm trying to avoid going over the beach at all, really. Because at some point we are going to want to dig that out. What it also means by putting this here is it means we'll get similar to what we've had before, where it'll give us the option of digging this bit out as well. We'll leave that there for now. That gives us a lot of stuff to fill. That is a lot of stuff to fill. And then somewhere over here, it might have to be here-ish because of these silly rocks, unless, like I say, we go over here and dig them out. But I don't know how deep it has to be for the shipyard to go there. But yeah, we'll find out. It's fine. So they've got lots of stuff to be dumping over there now. Excellent. What else do we need to be thinking about today? Could do with moving that mining tower. That's not really a massive problem. How are we doing with vehicle parts? Not a lot of Mark IIs, actually. Do you have stuff to do? You don't. How are we doing in terms of... so we do have 3 small excavators. It's the one, we have one there, which is fine. Sand isn't really much of a concern. One doing the limestone. We have 2 doing the limestone. So we could upgrade the limestone excavators. I think that's probably the next thing we'll do. Let's upgrade small excavator to excavator. Any depot. Yep, that old chestnut. Limey control tower. And start. That's fine. And we can start trying to get some other trucks and stuff done later. But we only have one of these making vehicle parts Mark II at the moment, because it uses glass and paper. Well, the glass and paper isn't really much of a concern. It's more these bits. If I recall correctly... Oh no, that's lab parts. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Vehicle parts. There we go. That makes 16. That does 8. It does use steel, but I'm gonna unpause this one. Let's get some more vehicle parts on the go. We've got loads of vehicle parts Mark 1, and we don't necessarily need that many, so we may as well... I mean, the problem is that does use the electronics and the mechanical parts, which are the things that we don't want to run out of. So in fact, do I have alerts on these boxes? No, why not? Notify if this gets 50% empty. And same with this one, notify if this gets 50% empty. I need to know about it. And in fact, I'm also going to mecha parts. So if we do have something pop up, we actually know what we're looking at. And Lecky. Oh, 1, it spelled terribly. 2, I wanted that capitalized. Lecky parts. Lecia. Lecky. There we go. Mecca and Lecky parts. We have those down now. There are some mining designations outside of the tower. That's fine, as long as they still have stuff to mine. I don't really care too much. So, how are we going to go about designing this? Where is this one's input? It's on the bottom. That is a massive pain in my behind. So we copied those 6. So if we just delete those 6, and obviously we're going to have to delete those. That's massively annoying. And this is going to become more annoying when we come to do the upgrades, because when we look to upgrade this belt, it'll upgrade this bit, and this bit, and this bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and there's no other little bits left behind, is there? No. So if we took this monstrosity, does it fit in here? Oh, it does. I mean, only just, but it does. So we would want that to go about there. And then this would go, yes, to there. And then we would want this belt flipped. This one's going this way. That's fine. Except that's only doing 2. So then we'd also want this to connect over here. You want this belt flipped, so it's all going over there. So now this one will do these 4. 5. No, yeah, 4. That's right, because it was a 3-to-2 ratio, wasn't it? So 6-to-4. So that one would do those. So we've got the input or the output going over there. Now we need the input. So the input for this one would be this belt here. So if we wanted to connect you up here, we could connect you there, which is relatively simple. Could we... I just don't want those connectors there. For some reason, those 2 are not Mark II, or that one. That's the sort of thing that'll break me. So that's that bit done. So this is the sort of thing I was having to do beforehand. So we don't need that anymore. So then we need this one. So that worked quite well. So if we do the same over here, we delete all of... Let's make this easier on ourselves. Let's delete those and that bit of belt. Excellent. And then delete that. Oh, I didn't do both bits. That's what I was trying to make easier on myself, but I didn't want to do it. Like that. And then if we just copy this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one would go here. And then we would scroll our way down here. I can't quite get to it. So this would go here. And this is the sort of reason why I didn't really want to show you guys all this, because it is a little bit arduous. Like I can't get to that belt. There we go. So that one goes that way now, which goes over there, and then we don't need this little chunk here. So that would be that. This one isn't connected for some reason. So that would go there, and we would get rid of that chunk. It's not too bad, is it? Not too bad at all. Okay, I'm going to do the next 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think you really need to watch it, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, that is all done. These are all connected up as far as I can tell. I have left 2 groups of 3 of the smaller mixers, because the way it worked out, these 3 only feed these 2 with iron, these 3 just feed these 2 with copper, so it's not cost effective to replace 3 with 1 big mixer, so I've left that as it is. Unity is going down because of disease. We have disease. Oh. I don't know. I don't think there's anything I can do about disease. I'm just going to ignore it. I mean, I do have quite a lot of pollution, but, you know, that's something I'm thinking about working on. One thing at a time. How are we doing over here? Oh, I mean, they are doing great work. Look how much they've already dumped. Let's speed it up and see if we can get rid of that pollution. Is there anything... Oh, that was the other thing. We need to look at... where do I do it? So we have the damaged cargo ship we can go to, but I also wanted to look at this. So we don't have a bigger engine, which is what we need to go further. Ship stuff is normally at the top. Well, the engine's just there, so it's something we are sort of almost available to research. So I guess we'll do that. Is there any upgrades we can do in the meantime? Just that bridge, which costs 400 steel. No, let's leave that. Let's leave that for now. So you're not doing much at the moment, but just take on. The other thing that happened was our power almost got to the point where it was going to be problematic. So we might want to start thinking about, if we did all 4 of these, what we need another 6, which should be all of those. Just unpausing all of this, I guess. I mean, how much... I don't want to use Unity because we are running out of Unity a little bit. So if we just did that... Oh wait, it's not plugged up to anything. Hold up now. Hold up now. That ain't gonna work. So at the moment we have a 60 pipe which feeds these 2, which take 24 and 48. And then we also need to feed these 2 over here. Okay, so that would come off the same pipe because that is not a priority. We don't have a priority out at the moment. I guess that's fine. If we make this a 200 though, it's going to see that as the priority. So I'd have to make that a 200 and this one over here, wherever we split it off, also a 200. So if we took this... over here, connected that to that, that to that, delete that little bit there, realize we've connected the wrong bits, so delete, nope, delete that, bring that over here instead. Ah, go there, I don't care, it's fine. And delete that. So that would be that. So we'd need to upgrade this pipe. And I think we also need to upgrade this pipe. Not that we need that much steam over here, but if that pipe's bigger, I don't want it sort of prioritizing that pipe based on the fact that it's a bigger pipe, if you see what I'm saying. We do have potentially four of these going. So with that connected, we then need to connect... That's not a lot of low power, it's 24, so... If we bring that to there, into there, that to there, I mean, it's horrible. Wait, what did you do? Don't do that. I'd like you to connect to this pipe, ideally, but you do not want to. That's fine. Let's try that again. So magnet back on. You connect to there. You connect to there. So that's that bit done. We would also need... Would we need 2 more of these? Because they can do 24. This output's 24. So we would need 2 more of these. If I put them there, it's going to get problematic, isn't it? Let's just put them here. And we may as well just direct connect them, I suppose. We have no reason not to at the moment. So you output 12 water. That's fine. Let's just connect you to there and you to there. And then also unpause all of that. And then we want to, I guess, put auto balance on everything. I don't know. That's what someone sort of suggested, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so once that's all built, that will solve the power problem. Excellent. Let's leave that going. So we can delete this chunk now because we don't need that. Okay. So I guess the next thing we want to do, we could either start looking at planning our oil, or we could actually start getting this done. And I'm quite keen to do that if we can fit stuff in. We will have to do like temporary... Whoa, hold on, I saw that message. Ore sorter is blocked due to full output. It's full of coal. No, it's doing coal and copper though. Oh, the dirt is full. Upgrade the dirt belt. Get it out of there. Get it out of there faster. Is it still complaining about dirt? I think it's... No, now it's the coal that's the problem. But that's fine, because the coal's full. It's okay. Whatever. Looks like the disease is disappearing a little bit. It is. But we still have a negative health. I don't know what we can do about that. Don't know what we can do about that. Well, that's actually ran out of stuff to mine, which is... I say mine. Mine's a strong word. Which is fantastic. So you can just carry on doing good work over the rest of it. Just do that. Wonderful. Thank you very much. At some point we'll get all of this flattened. I probably could do with more excavators working on it, but hey diddly ho. Talking of, how is this doing? We have done the upgrades. Wonderful. So we only have one. We may as well get it upgraded. I know that's the sand one, but we might as well get the sand upgraded. And then it's pickups to trucks. And we have the tree harvester, the liming control tower, another tree harvester, a mine control tower. I don't know what that one is. The fuel station and the flattenator. And an unassigned one. So there are 45 for us to upgrade yet. So the reason I paused it in the first place because electronics was getting low. So let's pause one of you. I don't really want to pause the research if we can help it. Hopefully pausing that will help because it'll allow these to build up. We do have a fairly steady stream of electronics coming out of here at the moment. We have lots of rubber. Let's make that probably has to be a higher priority. And let's make it, I think they can, is it 60 the bigger trucks can carry? Where's a big truck? Yes, 60. So if we make that 60, one big truck can bring one full load in. So let's do that. Iron ore is looking problematic, which is not great. Why would that be? Because there's not a lot of iron ore in here because we're full of limestone. And because we're full of limestone, let's upgrade this belt. Let's upgrade this belt. So one of the comments on the recent videos did say about upgrading belts on the sorters to try and get this bit done a bit faster. And there you go. I have You're welcome. The only other thing we could do is upgrade the storages. Talking of, wood's looking okay. They're outputting ore at the moment still. They're just not accepting any more, I guess, because it's got so much limestone in. That's because we upgraded the limestone to big excavators. So it has immediately caused us problems. Hey ho, live and learn, right? We'll just see how it goes. It's still outputting iron at the moment. Hopefully most of the stuff they're getting is just single loads of iron. It is not, and it is not. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. He said, fearful for the future. Concrete blocks are a little low, but that's not the end of the world. Electronics should hopefully be starting to stack up. They are. Let's speed everything up again. Let's have a little sup of tea. Wonderful. So we now have all of this space. So let's think about this. So yeah, if I do put down copper over here, we will have to belt in the copper with like some temporary storage. Same for the, what does copper use? Sand and coal. Because we're not going to be able to get this in for a long time yet. Unless we considered putting it on the other side. But the reason I wanted it on this side was so that we did have room to expand further should we need. So let's start thinking about this. So this one here, by the way, is just a copy of one of the ones over there. Obviously an old one because it's got the smaller things on. But it's just so I can get an idea of where the first ore sorter would need to go. It might be sensible actually to replace that because I want a marker of some form. So if we do this, put that back where it was, so it's right up against. So those two belts are almost touching, and those are all in line with each other. We don't need them connected necessarily. I just need to know where that's going to go. That's the idea. So if we copy all of this. So this is going to go about here. So I want I was originally lining it up with the furnaces lining up, but I thought if we go this way, if we line up the furnaces, it leaves very little room behind. There's a little bit there, but not a lot. If we line up that belt, it basically leaves a full, or one of the orange squares showing in the dumping or mining designation, one of those width, which is like, what, 1/3 of a big square. So that seems like a reasonable sort of space to leave there. Stuff does need to get back and forth there. So that would go there. And if that's going there, I think we would want the ore sorter to go about there. So these, I can't show you the mouse, but the the storages that are sort of facing us are on that black line. The ore sorter's input has that sort of protruding yellow bit there in the sort of middle right. But that then still leaves a good chunk of space behind it. It leaves a little bit of space next to the concrete as well, but not a lot saying that, but that might just have to do. So we'd want that to go there. So if that goes there, oh, wonderfully, how that works out is that first sorter, the first blast furnace, sorry, is on that black line. So we are giving it almost, well, slightly over 3 full tiles. But yeah, so that first ore sorter would go on that black line. Okay, get rid of that. I did. I had a moment of panic there. I was like, well, did I cut that ghost blueprint and then just lose all that work? Because I would be furious. That doesn't look like a lot, I'm sure, but it took a lot of time. Oh my word, it took a lot of time. So, my thinking is, and I'm just going to drop a save in because this is the sort of thing where stuff could go wrong. So we'll do a new save. This is 18 and it's scum save. Or a save scum. Whatever floats your boat. So we can get rid of those two. And then we would want to copy all of that, including a bit of that extra pipe at the back there. And then we want to bring this over here. I mean, it just destroys my frame rate taking this much around. So the first blast furnace would go on that black line those belts would all line up at the back there. But that's not quite right. Because it's the other belts that go there, right? That's where I'm getting myself confused. So we want... It's so horrible to work with because it barely moves. That to go there. And then that to go there. That's right, isn't it? And then it leaves a full square behind. That black blast furnace is on the black line, but it's on the wrong black line because we've only left 2 squares. Okay, let's try that again. So it would go here. That would go there. Which leaves a full thing there. So that would be right. Is there anything else we can do to sort of mark it? Not really, because as soon as I let go of the thing, it's going to do that. And my mouse is technically at the side of the screen, so it's getting itself very confused. So I think it would go there. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that down. Obviously, a lot of it isn't going to get placed, which is absolutely fine. And we still don't have enough room to get all of the copper in, which is probably fine. Which is probably fine. The one issue with that being, I didn't mention it, but I did also put the acid storage in with the pipework for that. And I put, just as a sort of telling us what it is, water storage here, showing where it's going over here. Pickup is struggling to find a destination. That's fine, because what we can do, remember, if we do cut, make sure that is all lined up. That does look perfectly lined up. We would then get rid of everything up to here, pretty much. Yes. We can get rid of that, that one. May as well get rid of the bottom one. And then we can get rid of chunks of these as well. Yes. That's the slag outputs. Only 2 of them, however. In fact, we don't need that bit. We don't need that bit. Okay. So we can get 2 of the coppers there. And there should be, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 6. We can get 4 of them, which is fine. I'm okay with that. That sort of makes sense. Is anything else missing? Only the acid, which is going to have to be a temporary thing to fix that. How much acid do they take? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's fine. One Mark 1 belt will be able to do that. So that would go here for now. Can we put it somewhere it wouldn't be in the way? Like if we wanted to put down another blueprint, if we put it there. So that would go there. Once we've got that built, which is, you know, once we've got that built, easier said than done, we would need copper storage connected. We'd want it behind. I don't know if this is a good idea. I really don't know. But it's what we're doing. We may as well just direct connect that. That needs to have like at least 100 in ideally. We also need coal. which we're also going to squeeze in at the back here. The coal is this line. That can go there. That needs to be kept like at least 60. Coal is 15, 30. So one Mark 1 belt is actually fine for that coal for the moment. And then we also need limestone. No, we need sand. Sorry, we also need sand. And this is all the stuff that I want to be done manually with belts in the future, because you've done that thing where you try to decide the direction for me. So it'd be like that, and that would be our copper. So this would produce 48, 96, 296 is 192, I think. And we are currently making 72. We're making 72 and we're probably not making enough electronics. Electronics takes 24 each. So if we can just get this first one up and running, which means this is going to be excessive, but I don't want to have to replace the whole thing. We don't need that. So if we wanted to do the first two, what would we want for that? We would want you, and you. We would want that, and that. We're probably going to want to upgrade that belt at some point. So we would want that, we would want that, we would want that, those two, those two, those two. We would want that. We need to deal with the slag output at some point. I'm going to leave these on separate belts, even though they don't really need to be technically. But again, I don't want to mess with the sort of core blueprint. In fact, no, we don't need that bit at the moment. So we don't need that one yet. That's fine. We need all of that. We need 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 those two and those bits in the middle. We need that pipe there. And then we need this belt done up to here. We need this is what I meant about having them all in little sort of separate, disparate pieces. This belt done up to here. And that should be fine. That will then start making us copper. Once we get coal in there. The problem being that we have coal needs everywhere. You do not need to have trucks importing stuff. You do not need to have trucks importing stuff. Although they are taking the copper scrap from somewhere, which I actually don't mind so much. It uses less coal for the copper scrap. We do need to look at doing recycling at some point, but that's again one of those jobs for another day. Does that mean we're running low on coal? My word, does it mean we're running low on coal? It's not accepting any more rock because it's full of rock. Is this the rock? Upgrade this belt. Does that mean that you guys are not digging coal? Yes, it absolutely does. So, I guess dig from like here up to here, and the sort of same there, a bit more into there, and that little bit there, and then over there as well. And we will have to think about going down at some point to get the rest of the coal, but we are running a little bit low on coal. And then just to double check, you should all be told to prioritize coal, which I think you are. You are. So you should now, once you've finished doing that little bit, you should now go and actually dig some coal out. Okay. Coal's a problem. Coal's a problem. Could not store all the wheat after harvest. Yes, this is another problem, isn't it? Because the potatoes are backing up, because this can't process the potatoes fast enough, the wheat isn't getting out. Not that we have a bread problem, but if we've got wheat that isn't being processed, I don't like that much. So I think a relatively easy fix for that is if we get rid of that bit of belt, get rid of that, get a U-shaped sorter, flip that around, bring that up, put that there, connect that back in there. You are going to sort the wheat there. And then you are going to connect up here. And then we've got a bit of unity coming back in. So unity, unity, unity. So it still has the potential to back up, or if the potatoes back up all the way up here, it's still a potential problem. But in the meantime, the wheat from these two can get out. So that's something. Which means we do not need this belt anymore. No, we don't need this bit anymore. So there's no point in paying for a little bit of power that we don't need for the sorter. So let's do that and get rid of that. That probably makes more sense. And that'll get the wheat in there. Most of the wheat isn't going to get used. It's going to go into the anaerobic digester to make fuel gas, which... Oh, we've actually used all our fuel gas. That's probably because we... yes, so now we're running low on electronics. And that's because we're running low on copper, and that's because we're running low on coal. Tell me you are now processing coal. We are getting some coal in there. You are not focusing coal. 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 And one of you moved. I don't know who it was. You're digging out a lot of rock. There's I don't understand. You could dig out this. Go dig out that. So just stop digging that. Fine. If you're going to be really, really annoying about it, you'd better be going to coal. Okay, it looks like they are actually digging out a bit of coal there. Okay, yeah, because coal is a problem. And right now we're digging out a lot of rock. I mean, a lot of rock. These are doing great jobs over here. This is looking fantastic. We've got a good bit of space over here. Let me just grab this a second. Yeah, it's not quite big enough yet, is it? It needs to be about half, although that works there. Maybe it's just that that's not quite wide enough at the moment. And that rock, you can see it's going red on that rock. So the closest we're probably able to get it is about there. In which case, we may as well stop dumping at that point. Let them finish off that bit, but we may as well just stop them continuing with that. That is looking fantastic. So we can get the, what do they call it? Cargo dock? Shipyard. We can get the shipyard in about there. Gives us space for other stuff there. And then once they finish doing that little bit, we will move the trading dock, I suppose, which I think we'll have to delete first. Maybe just put that over there for now. Low supply of electronics. It's going to start impacting stuff. Let's pause these belts for the moment. We are making some copper again. So we've got a fraction of coal in. We've got a fraction of coal in. Not a lot of coal, but a fraction of coal. Oodles of construction parts. Although this seems to have paused because this isn't getting iron. That's not getting iron because we don't have any coal. And I'm pretty sure that's a 9, that's a 9. That's a 7 because that's mechanical parts, and that's a 7 because that's the copper. Okay. Can we buy coal anywhere? We can buy it for diesel. I don't like that idea. We can buy it for construction parts. That's not a completely horrible one. The slag backed up. It didn't even make it. Well, for starters, you never got built. This bit here isn't working for some reason. Oh, don't know what happened there. And then we do need storage for the slag. Let's just grab this one, pop this in here. And just pop that there, and then let's just Unity build both of those. Okay, now I'll get the slag out. So they are both running. These are, yep, working on running. That one is. We never built the acid on the other hand. So let's do that. Otherwise that's definitely not going to work. Someone did hand deliver the acid. So we've got the impure copper's coming in, the acid's coming in, and then we're full of the actual copper there, which is fine. So what we really want to do, I guess, is just move this all over here. And then belt the electronics quite a distance. Quite a distance. We need to belt them to there. I mean, there are worse things, I guess. And the sooner we do that, the better, I guess. Because right now we're trying to run 2 refineries. So we could... I mean, they're both going to back up with electronics anyway, right? Very soon. Yeah, so let's just leave it. They'll sort themselves out. Yeah. So we're going to need... that. And we're going to build that there. So these are outputting 48. So if we do... did not like that. If we do that, that'll be fine. We are making 1, 2, 3, 4 lots, which means we can make another set of electronics. And they use 24, so it is going to get tight in terms of belts. So I think what we will do is we'll get rid of that one. We will connect that one. No, we won't. We'll bring this one here over here. Connect it there. Connect it there. And it uses not a lot of rubber. So the rubber's going to go in absolutely fine. Okay, so that's what we want there. Let's print in 24. So we don't want that one going there. We want this one going there, and this one going there. And then we're going to want probably more. We're going to probably want 2. We do have Mark II belts. What am I talking about? Control up, Mark II belt. You need to come at height 5, or you need to come. Let's try that again. A belt, Mark II. You need to come out 1, just in case we do want to connect anything to it. Then we want you to come all the way over here and connect in there. Excellent. So let's Unity as much of that as possible. Absolutely all of it. Excellent. Then We can pause these. We can pause these. We can pause these. And we can pause these. We're just waiting for the rubber. I'm going to pause those storages because I don't want them bringing rubber there anymore. In fact, I want you to empty that one. It just brought rubber there. So that has now slightly increased our electronics. But I mean, say slightly increased. It's increased it by a third. So that's not bad at all. I love the fact that this is getting filled in. I don't know why it's missed like little squares here and there. We can come back to that another time, I suppose. We've got lots of lab parts Mark II. I might just unpause this one in the short term. Does that cost Unity for labs? 2 times research, it does. That's fine, we've got a fair bit of Unity. It's just to try and speed up the research we're doing. I mean, we've got so much stuff to be building anyway. So once we're comfortable that this is working, which I think we are, we want to think about this. Yeah, so that's all fine. So let's just delete all this. Delete all of that. Delete that. Delete all of that. Yes. I can't see a reason not to. I don't think we've deleted anything we shouldn't have. We can delete that. We can delete that. Now I would normally Unity a lot of it, but you know, let's make the trucks earn their keep, right? So we could put a priority balancer on this to get this one emptied faster, but it's fine. What we could do, of course, is unpause these 2 belts, because we now have oodles of electronics, so that shouldn't be a problem anymore. And this one will slowly empty. Slowly empty. And we've already actually filled up the electronic storage there. Well, that is amazing. That is the first bit, and we have a Unity something by accident. That is the first bit of our new smelters set up. I think that's in line. It's hard to tell there, but that is the first one. How amazing is that? Yeah, and then if we wanted to do steel, if we just copied, like, I'm aware we're missing, or we've got a few extra bits there. This would come over here. I really need to, hang on a second. I really, really need to get rid of all those bits that are done, because it's very hard to see what is going on. Right, let's try that again. So if I was looking to do steel, I'd take a little bit of extra copper. This would go all the way up to about there. So the copper is there. So we'd pop that one down there. So it's missed out a couple of these because these storages were in the way. So we might have to think about doing something about that. But I guess we won't be building those for a while. And that actually fits in there perfectly. I do just want, I'm pretty sure it is lined up. Yes. So we could also start thinking about moving the steel pretty soon as well. We don't need that. We have 2 erroneous bits of belt there, which mess things up for us. So we're missing a steel smelter, aren't we? Can we just Unity those, please? An iron smelter, I should say. So that would go... Wait, hang on a second. But that doesn't fit there. It's because it goes that way. Okay. So that would go there. We can get rid of those two. We can get rid of a lot of that. We can get rid of... Has that box already been told to delete? It has. That might take some time. We can get rid of like all of this belt for the moment, right? We don't necessarily need to. Let's do it. Let's get rid of it. So it looks something like that. Except this isn't being fed. Why isn't that being fed? Because that one was sharing... Oh, that's a pain, actually. That's a pain. So this steel smelting section was sharing its mixer with this one, or crusher with this one. But obviously we have the oxygen as well that goes to, which I did also pipe in, goes to each side. So the oxygen goes to these lot, but the crusher does that lot. That's very frustrating. That's very frustrating indeed. Okay. We'll have to think what we're going to do about that, because it is about time to finish up anyway. I noticed we are missing a couple of bits here. Collision with pillar. What pillar? That pillar. Okay. I don't really know how that happened. I'm very confused as to what happened here. Now that isn't connecting because it can't find a valid placement. Let me pop over here a second. Pipe, 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 pipe. Well, it worked before, sunshine. Why aren't you working now? It's broken all of it. Okay, so I might have to redo all that water pipe. And then maybe we'll think about doing something weird, but I don't know what yet. I don't know. We do need to get rid of this bit of storage first anyway. Are those not emptying because they're paused? That one is now empty, so let's delete that and that. Are you empty? No, you're not empty yet. That's fine. You'll get there. You'll get there. Can I set... I can't set a specific export on you. That's okay. Anyway, we're making enough electronics that that's full. We can start thinking about what we're going to do with steel next time. And we're also going to... Sorry, I just hit the microphone. We're also going to have to start considering whether building it this way and then putting these temporary bits in place is in fact a horrendously bad idea. So we've already seen that the sand is a problem because that's in the way of this. Yeah. Because the idea is, we build this piecemeal, slowly move everything over. Oh my word, we're going to have to move literally all of this. Oh, and the glasses. Yeah. Okay. What does the glass use? It's sand. Sand, limestone, and salt. And acid. If we get a bit more space there, could not store all the potatoes after harvest. Well, I mean, we're getting rid of the potatoes as fast as we can. We literally are getting rid of them as fast. We could build another one, but it is just potatoes that are backing up. I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. Who's full of potatoes? Lots of you. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. We could change this one over to wheat. So that does wheat and thingies. We could also change this one over. How are our vegetables doing, I suppose, is a question. Not great. Not great at all. So let's change this one over to vegetables. And that one will keep like that for the moment. That one does wheat and vegetables. Yeah, so we've got lots of potatoes in storage. I say lots. What is happening here? A cheeky little bit of corn got in. A cheeky little bit of wheat got in. I keep saying corn for some reason. So that's why the potatoes are filling up. So I probably didn't need to do that. Oh, well. We have some more vegetables coming in now anyway. It's fine. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. You say you got no available place to dump products? That's because you literally don't. Because you guys are absolute legends. So let's... think about what we're going to do down here. I guess we need to think about moving this next then, right? So it can go there. And we can put it that far into the ocean, which means we should be able to tuck it. There. Which means we'll probably also be able to get the diesel piped in directly. Yeah, if we put it there, that leaves loads of room for other stuff. Let's unpause that. I'm not going to Unity it because we are still losing Unity. Oh, that's because we put the other research lab on, isn't it? Which we're not even sure we need. We are getting the large storage, which is nice. We'll get that. We need to move the trade-in dock, which means we need to delete the trade-in dock first. And then maybe we'll put this somewhere up here as well. If we Unity that. And then we go over to, is it in buildings? Trade-in dock? Could we fit this? No, because it definitely couldn't fit there. Okay. We could fit this one here. So it is completely out of the way of all this stuff down here. Let's do that. Let's unpause you. So we are building a new shipyard. We are building a new... We need to move this pipe. I don't know exactly how far we're going to come out. I think we probably want to bring this out so it goes up to like here. So we could look at doing that first. So dumping designation, flat. It is level 4. But if we bring that out to like there, and then bring that out a little bit further as well, and then we'll probably bring that to like at least that square. It's a lot of dumping, but you can see how quickly they filled in that area up there. They absolutely smashed it. This area here, they filled that. I mean, it was only level 2, which helps, but still, it was pretty impressive how quickly they done that, I thought. So, yes, we need to finish up, don't we? So we have started migrating our smelting over to the next tier of the smelting process, and also looking to get our belts and everything set up. If we can move the steel smelting next time, it makes 12. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes 24. So we only need to get 3 of these up and running. I mean, we'll get 4, obviously. We only need to get 4 of these up and running to make this actually worthwhile. We are going to have to mess around with the belts a little bit to make it work, which is going to be a pain. But there's not a lot. Can I unpause you? I don't know if they're not picking up stuff from you because you're paused. Yeah, we need to move then all of this stuff And we might think about moving the glass production to like, if we can get this little bit cleared out, which I'm guessing is, yeah, like next on your list anyway. If we can move glass production to, oh no, because we need to put the other, can we fit that one in now? Yes, so that would go there. Is that lined up properly? It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, it can't be because none of those belts are lined up. What is going on there? There. So that would go there. Obviously, all the belts at the back are missing. That's a problem for another day. And that pipe is part of a different system, so we don't need that. And then that would, in theory, be connected to that. Are you being told to keep empty? Let's knock that down to 140 so a big truck can do all of it at once. Okay. We could probably do is moving our acid over there sooner rather than later, just because that's where it should be. So that's one temporary measure out of the way. And everything else looks like it's connected up there. So that's where all that needs to go. So actually, the flattenator needs really to be focusing on moving this further out here. So if we get our mining designation, we bring this out. So you need to be looking at doing like that. That's actually your sort of focus. So if we can get this bit here cleared, I might think about putting the glass smelting up there as well, just so it's not really sort of in the way like it is there. I mean, it's going to have to move anyway, and we're going to have these weird little concrete walkways which make no sense when it's all moved, but that's fine, that's all part of the game. Eventually we're all covered with concrete anyway, so it's not really going to matter, is it? So exciting. So we'll think about moving glass next time. We'll start thinking about how we're going to get steel set up. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare, but it is what it is. I am thinking if I should have kept these belts at the back and plugged these temporary storages into there, because we do have space up there to put them. So I might think about doing that. I might move these, delete the belts, and then put this down again, and then get these plugged into the actual belts, so it makes more sense when it comes to it. The only real benefit we have is this is plugged directly into this, so it just feeds straight away without having a belt there. But anyway, it's looking good. It's looking good. We are in the process of moving our shipyard. It does take a lot of construction parts Mark 1. Oh boy, does it take a lot of construction parts Mark 1. We are also full of wood again, so we are going to upgrade those. And can we unity those? Maybe. Yes, we can. So that's going to give us a bunch more wood storage as well. We are currently upgrading the next tier of storage as well. We have also now got wastewater treatment, the rotary gas. We've got the mixer 2, which is fun. Think about what we can do with that. We've got thermal desalination and pipes 3, which is going to be important, I think, when it comes to start looking at, finally, when we get to like the next tier of the oil stuff. Diesel looks like it's pretty much keeping up. I think the reason that's emptying so fast is pretty much because the trucks can take so much out of it at once. If we upgrade that there, that'll get us a whole bunch more storage, which will keep this running a little bit more. So that'll all be good. Yeah, this is seriously bare bones at the moment. I mean, we're doubling the oil intake, but I think, like I say, we need to quadruple it. We need 4 of those. We need double everything that's there at the moment, including the rubber. And then we also need to think about the sour water stripping, the other recipes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a nightmare, but it's going to be a lot of fun. But cool. A lot of progress. Food is looking better. We're actually getting all the potatoes in. We've actually got some more vegetables coming in. We don't have a lot of vegetables in stock. That's one of the reasons why our Unity dropped, because we didn't have those vegetables in stock. But we have knocked a couple of them over to vegetables, so we'll see how that goes. You couldn't store all the wheat after harvest because you are backed up with potatoes and you can't get to the sorter. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? On the other hand, you are currently not growing potatoes anymore. So actually, this is just another thing for us to be doing, isn't it? But if you're not growing potatoes anymore, don't share that belt. Quite simply, do not share that belt. Go straight over there. You're still growing wheat and potatoes, so you need to share the belt, but you don't. Problem solved. Problemo solved-o. And you're just doing that, and you're not doing potatoes either, so you're just doing wheat as well. But I suppose you go straight into the sorter, so that shouldn't be a problem. Cool, okay. As I keep saying, progress has been made. Progress has been made. Water is looking good. Is this water looking good? This water is also looking good. Plus, we should have some storage in there from these. Excellent. Things are looking good. I'm really happy with the progress. We'll try and get a bit more done next time. Hope you're enjoying Captain of Industry. If you are, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I will see you next time. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.